Spoilers for Death Note, obviously. Please watch it before watching this. I don't think I need to state this. I really do not think I need to state this, but the second half of Death Note does not suck and is just as good as the first. If you did not know that, well, you do now. Yes, I'm finally hitting this topic. I already briefly went over what Death Note was in my review of the Netflix live-action movie of Death Note, so I'm going to be using that clip again here since I cover basically exactly that. So yeah, if you haven't watched Death Note, here's a brief explanation of it. It is based off the popular anime and manga by the same title, Death Note, which is my #1 favorite anime, by the way, that got me into anime in general. Written by Sugumi Oba, illustrated by Takashi Obata, and animated by Madhouse Studios. It's a story about a by-the-book genius named Light Yagami receiving a death note which triggers an ultimatum in his head that he is the only one who could possibly make the world a better place. The detective L hears about issues going on and is intrigued to solve this case. A lot of people refer to this story as a cat and mouse chase by geniuses. To me, it's just one of those shows you watch and it makes you feel smarter after watching it. The manga has sold over 30 million copies and it has been nominated and won several anime and manga awards. Whoa, wait a second. There's a TV drama and musical based off of Death Note as well? Can I also say that the openings fucking slap? Especially the second one. It needs more love. The band needs more love. Again, huge spoilers in 3... Fuck, I did it again. Huge spoilers in 3, 2, 1. So L died. Yeah. And no one liked that. Now I could be showing my bias right now and say, I wanted that to happen because Light's my guy. He's my big boned guy. But obviously, if you're going to tell a story properly about a person who's seeking and thinks he has the power of God, there's only one way a story like that could end, with that person dying. But they kill L instead. Ooh. And in his proxy was Near and Mello. People see this part as a downslope in the story. L was an integral character to the story, just as important as Light was. And it just wasn't the same without him, honestly speaking. And I'm here to say that just because it's not the same, just because L's dead and it feels like there's something missing, does not mean the second half sucks. It doesn't. Oh, and by the way, before this video continues, make sure you subscribe and join the Scooter Reigns. I think it's safe to say that Light is a megalomaniac, which Google defines as a psychological disorder that brings someone delusions of grandeur. The person is convinced that their way of thinking and their power is absolute and that they are the most important person in the world. This is Light in a nutshell. He believes himself to be God. His power, that's not actually his power, is for him to use in whatever means necessary. I believe that he wasn't like this from the start. That statement is obvious. It was because everybody from his family to people at school and to probably all of Japan blew his head up telling him how smart he is, that he's the smartest person alive. He always gets the best scores, even on his entrance exams to college, his scores were the best. Now, after becoming Kita, people also not only start talking about his smarts, but they see his Kita work as work from God. Someone is finally using their power to bring just to the evil that they deem necessary. Once L is finally out of the picture, he can bask in that glory. He can finally become drunk with power. He's finally a megalomaniac. I believe this was necessary for someone to catch him slipping, obviously in this case as someone being Mello and Near. If it wasn't for that, I think he would have won, he would have succeeded. Light at the beginning was a person who thought of every possible outcome and tried to always take the safest routes. Unless he was experimenting with something, of course. Having experienced years at the top without L around was necessary for him to become overzealous with the power that wasn't his but he deems as his. Not accounting for Mikami writing Takada's name down in his death note was his downfall. He did not expect that, and therefore he had to pay the price. I believe if L didn't die, Light wouldn't have died, and it would have been a continuous chase back and forth, smartness versus smartness, for a very, very long time. I understand that it doesn't necessarily make it good, it just means that it portrays a story well, it can make a good story, but people have just weird preconceived notions that Nier and Mello shouldn't have been able to stop Light, when in reality, they didn't stop Light. Light stopped himself. They believe Nier to be an L ripoff, and see him just as that. Whereas, I believe him to be a bit different. He's a different character, with his own stance on morals, and has the ability to do a lot of stuff. He done more stuff that L didn't do because of the task force. Nier actually tested the notebook's powers. He has fail-safe plans for when shit gets a little too crazy. And there's this interesting theory that maybe Nier already wrote things down in a death note and knew he was gonna win all along. It's possible, but no one knows. Nier's character wasn't meant to be as popular as L's. You can tell that from the way they write him. He isn't in the forefront as a main character like L was. He prefers to be a background character and do stuff secretly. This is fairly obvious from his minor role in the recent one-shot chapter of the Death Note manga. Would honestly love for that to be animated one day as an OVA, please. Please, that one was so good. So please, stop comparing Nier to L. The second half does not suck. And please, 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 give Takeda his OVA episode. He at least deserves that since they killed him off. Fuck that. Fuck that. They shouldn't have killed Takeda, goddammit. Oh, I said Takeda. Tanaka. It's Tanaka. So please, stop comparing Nier to L. The second half doesn't suck. And please, 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 give Minoru Tanaka his OVA episode, because he deserves it. He fucking deserves it. After what they did to him, he deserves it. There could have been a nice little short series around that. Jesus fucking Christ, come on, man. His plan was fucking perfect, man. Come on. God. But, thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. It was fun. I love Death Note, if you can't tell. It was one of the first anime I ever watched, so yeah, I love it. And obviously I don't mean first, I meant first when I knew what the word anime meant. So, yeah, it was fun. This has been fun. I love this. Bye. Goodbye.